Hello, welcome to the Off-Brand Podcast. I'm your favorite host, hopefully, Cade Haggard. And to my left...
I am Nicholas. And to the microphone's left...
I am Nathan.
What was that?
Good. Nothing.
Okay,
we're back after a long time.
Yeah, several months. Several long months. I don't know how you guys made it without us, but we're here now.
But you guys are independent people.
Yeah,
so,
you are. You can handle it. You can take it. You're not babies.
No, we actually wrote about half a page in English today about being independent people. Oh. Sorry, that's irrelevant.
So let's get right into it.
Yeah, let's get right into it.
We had another episode with Nathan a really long time ago. Mm-hmm. Whenever, the week before we stopped publishing stuff, or releasing stuff, I guess. And Cade feels that we talked about Bob Ross for way too long, but we did have some good conversations about video
Nintendo
games
stuff. And I want to have that conversation again. Or a similar conversation. I mean, it's been a while. Our views...
Fun fact, we've also had this same conversation like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, we have. We just can't... Nicholas keeps hating everything we say, so he starts it all over.
I'm going to clarify and say, there are certain times when we get on, rants like this, where I'm like, this is super boring, and I wouldn't...
You're probably right, so let's say something flashy. Politics.
We have an update on James Patterson.
Oh, yes, James Patterson. A long time ago, honestly, but...
It might have been, the very first.
It was the very first. We were talking about how James Patterson probably has, a ghostwriter. Or really... He publishes, several books per year, which is very strange, but each one has a name underneath it, and you kind of assume that the person with the name underneath James Patterson's name would be a ghostwriter, right? But recently, a book came out with none other than Bill Clinton being that person underneath James Patterson's name.
Who did the writing in that one?
But it's strange because you immediately suspect, there's no way Bill Clinton actually wrote any of this. It had to have been James Patterson writing all of it, with Bill Clinton just kind of off the side, being president's cool.
Well, we probably should have read up on that a little bit before we start talking about it, because we don't know what it's about, because it might have been...
No, it's about a president getting kidnapped.
Really? Mm-hmm. So it's a fictional book.
It is a fictional book.
Oh.
Yes.
Wait.
I saw it in Walmart one time and I opened it and the president has been kidnapped. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to read this. And I put it away. Anyways.
So maybe Bill Clinton was just being cited as a source for how being kidnapped as a president would actually work. Not that he was actually kidnapped, but he knows what being the president
that we know of.
Well,
What if he got kidnapped by James Patterson?
What if
he was replaced with a clone?
What if
Bill Clinton, the real Bill Clinton, had he had to write a book for James Patterson? I don't even know what I'm talking about.
What if Nicolas Cage kidnapped the president? And National Treasure 2 is based off of that.
Not again.
I thought you got Nicolas Cage because he was talking about Ghost Rider, but...
I get it. Ghost Writer and Ghost Rider. That's nice.
That's...
But you didn't realize we were saying... You thought I was just randomly saying, Bill Clinton's the new Ghost Rider.
Yeah, no, I thought you were saying that, James Patterson had an alter ego.
Wait, hold on. Do you guys think Bill Clinton's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I'd say
nope.
So.
No? I know...
What makes you say that?
Well, John Green's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because in Ant-Man, he's reading Fault in Our Stars, so...
in the background?
Yeah, there's a scene where they're like, hey guys, I'm in my house, I've been arrested, and I'm doing things, and there's a scene where he's crying while reading Fault in Our Stars. But anyways, they made the exact... One? Yeah, but they made a whole joke about that on the podcast, and I don't want to be stealing their joke like that.
I remember that.
I got called out for stealing a joke by someone that listened to our third podcast. Although I didn't actually steal that joke, but I did steal a joke in that podcast. So.
Oh, right. That's a lot of information.
Yeah. But anyways, speaking of that person, we'll get back to that later. But what I'm saying is that Bill Clinton, I don't have any specific reason to think he's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It just seems like someone who would be.
Yeah. I mean, why change that, But anyways...
he hasn't been deconfirmed.
Exactly.
They haven't explicitly said that Bill Clinton doesn't exist.
Yeah, literally... I haven't been deconfirmed from the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Do you think he survived the snap?
Ooh.
Oh wait, it's too soon. Too soon.
Well, no, like they're literally spoiling on a TV. Have you seen like Fallon? Jimmy Fallon was spoiling it. Like he asked Spider-Man, "Hey, like they had Tom Holland come out and like he was playing the role of Spider-Man. I was like, "Hey, didn't you like turn into Ash?" And he's like, "Hey," and he did like a backflip and ran away.
I thought, okay.
Yeah. Anyways,
it's funny because Tom Holland was the one that was almost spoiling the movie for everyone before it even came out.
He has to like backflip and run away to prevent himself from doing that.
So does he do all of his own stunts? Do you think?
He does a lot of them.
Yeah. I don't think he did the actual turning into Ash stunt though.
I don't think anybody did. I feel like that was special.
They just disintegrated some of the stunt doubles.
Let's talk about Venom. Have you seen Venom?
I have not seen Venom.
Oh no.
What?
We've seen it. We saw it as a group of friends, like a big group of people.
Oh no, I'm not part of the friend
Well,
group
you don't live
here.
in the city that we are living in right now.
You could have like Skyped me.
I feel like that's illegal.
It might be. You could have bought a ticket and then brought.
That's true.
And the internet connection in movie theaters is like a literal dead zone. So.
Oh well. So.
Well.
What were you gonna say? I don't plan on seeing it anyways. So.
Really?
Go ahead and spoil it.
You should see it just because it's bad.
Is it really bad?
Well,
it's not awful, but it's just there's a lot of not so great things that add up to make it kind of.
Let's not spoil anything for the audience, but like let's just say that like it didn't explain anything. It just kind of like jumped. Well, actually, the beginning was pretty slow, and it was really slow. It was like the first 40 minutes was like it was just him by himself.
It's like, hey, I'm a New York reporter. And that's it.
He was in San Francisco. Maybe.
I am a San Francisco reporter.
It was like you're closer to the first one.
Oh, I am a San Francisco reporter.
He has a very.
He was originally in New York, and then he got fired from his jobs and was basically shunned from all of the city, and then fled to San Francisco. Anyway,
in the movie?
No, it's just they kind of alluded to that in introducing his character, like the love interest that the girl talks about him being in New York and. You know what happened there. You don't want that to happen again.
Mm-mm.
Well, anyway, it was like it took forever for Venom to be part of him, you know. And then like after that, it just started like zooming through the whole plot, and it was just like, well,
yeah, it's like they made 40 minutes of exposition and then realized, oh wait, we still only have like 50 minutes. You know, probably more than that, but
it was probably like another hour and 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, but still. We only have this much time to.
So we have to jam everything in.
Yeah, to actually advance the plot and give people a satisfying resolution, but still leave them waiting for the sequel. And it just went by way too fast. Like the actual villain only got like 5 minutes of screen time.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Wait, who was the villain?
Riot.
Yeah.
I have no idea what. I read
it's
comics
just another
and
symbiote that bonded with some
lame.
dude. And Riot himself, like in his symbiote form, only got 5 minutes of screen time, and it was during the final battle.
It's kind of like Venom in Spider-Man 3 then.
Yeah, it really is.
I've always mixed up the Spider-Mans, you know?
I just think best, alright, and good, or bad. I watched Spider-Man 3 a lot when I was little, and I rewatched it recently, and man, it sucks. It's really bad.
We talked about Spider-Man in the first episode, too.
Did we?
Because I remember talking about Mary Jane in the new one, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I went for a run the other day, and I listened to the first episode. And you know what? I don't want to toot our own horn or anything, but I thought that was a pretty good episode.
Yeah?
I laughed a couple times.
Oh, I think you said you left a couple times.
No, I only left once.
And that was when it was over, hopefully.
Yeah. Anyways, and then my phone died, and I was, like, out in the middle of the dark. Because
Were you walking your dog too?
No, I go for runs every night.
That's the perfect time to bring your dog along is when you're running. I mean, just
no, because my dog will run. Like I run 2 miles every single night, and my dog can only make like half a mile.
So just let it. Is it a him? It's a him, right?
It's a she.
Okay, let her just zoom back. Zoom is apparently my new favorite word. Just let her just run back home and.
Yeah, I don't think she's smart enough to do that.
That's not very nice of you. I feel like she's definitely not going to do it now.
She's done some really
Does she
dumb
listen
stuff.
to the cast?
Yeah, she listens to it. I make her listen to it because we got to get those views, you know.
Put headphones in.
Yeah, give her specially made headphones that are just fitted for her use.
Exactly. Or just implants.
It's Bobo,
how long
right?
do you think it's going to...
Is that your dog's name?
Bobo? No, it's Ubu.
Ubu.
But we just call her Boo.
Yeah. You still bake?
Bake?
Or you used to cook, right?
Yeah, Well, I bake bread just about every single week, but I don't bake sweets. You asked that, and you're like,
should have brought us some.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you said that, and I thought, are you making a weed reference?
Wait, no.
No, I do not. I'm a good boy. I do not do those things. Anyways,
have I ever told you guys that I'm just a compulsive baker? Like if I get bored and just don't have much to do on the weekends, I just get this sudden urge to go in the kitchen and make something. It's like one time I was just browsing through the pantry looking for something, and I just found a box of cupcake mix, and it was Thin Mints.
Thin Mints,
like the Girl Scout cookies.
Wait, so it was Thin Mint cupcakes?
It was like chocolate mint cupcakes, and the icing was just chocolate. But I don't know. I just got really bored and felt like I really need to make something, and so I went and I made cupcakes, and my parents were very surprised when they got home from work because I think it was over the summer. But
I'm kind of similar to that. Like I watch cooking things on YouTube.
See, but I don't even do that. I have no interest in cooking whatsoever. I just feel the need to do it whenever I get bored.
Do you watch Binging with Babish?
Yeah, I do.
I love Binging with Babish. But he recently made a recipe for what's that thing that we eat? The Frito pie. He made Frito pie, but he did it in like the weirdest way ever. He like made a layer of Fritos, then he put
cheese on there or something.
Yeah, he layered it with cheese, and then he put
the chili on there.
The chili on, and then he layered more Fritos on there.
Yeah.
Nobody does it like that. We just
it was like a
exactly.
Call it like a chili pie bake or something like that.
Yeah.
It's Frito pie.
Yeah. I remember the first time I got it from like you know how like pools, their concession thing, they make chili pie, Frito pie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they put it in the bag. I remember the first time I saw that, and I thought that was super unconventional, but
I remember getting one at
a
band competition once, but that was eating up in the stand. It was really cold out, but yeah, that was
you scratched my glasses one time.
Did I?
Yeah, it was like a jam thing, and it was one of those things where you like flip it around, like you're when you're moving your arms around.
Yeah,
so you were like, "Hey, give me your glasses."
Flick them in the
sky.
So
I gave them to you, and you like threw them. Well, you accidentally like slammed them on the ground, and I was upset with that. But I apologize. Had new ones since then. So
on the Frito pie in a bag thing, I was working the concession stand at a middle school football game once. Not too recently. It was this year though. Anyway.
I was working a concession stand once.
You didn't even let me tell my story.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was working the concession stand, and people would come down and ask for a bag of hot Cheetos, but they'd ask us to put chili and cheese in them. And I thought that was just so strange. And so I decided to get out a little bit of my money, and I stuck it in the register and tried it for myself, and it was actually really good.
See, I don't think that... I don't know.
Wait, what kind of chips?
Hot Cheetos.
Hot Cheetos. I couldn't imagine that being good.
It was really good.
I don't believe I would like that. I don't think I've ever even tried Hot Cheetos, so I don't...
You haven't had Hot Cheetos?
I don't want to.
You had Takis?
No.
Takis are so good, man. I eat Takis like nonstop.
I prefer the Doritos Dynamite
no,
things.
I hate anything.
Just because I tried Takis and they tasted burnt.
You used to eat the taco or something, Doritos or something.
Doritos.
Oh, yes.
You would bring the entire bags.
The original.
And
okay. So any of like the Doritos that they sell now, like the ones with the Call of Duty stickers and whatnot on them, anything like that is not very good. You have to go down to the Hispanic food aisle and get the taco flavored Doritos, because those are the actual best. They're the original flavors, and they are so good. It's
they still have the original design on the bag.
Yeah, too. It's amazing.
I've never had those.
Anyways,
you should bring them next time. We can try them. And that'll give us
a little bit of a taste test.
Yeah, like this episode too.
You were telling a story about the concession.
I was working at a concession stand with my dad, right? And so people are coming by saying, "Hey, I want a Dr. Pepper." And I went over to the fridge and I thought, "Oh, maybe they want a Diet Dr. Pepper, or maybe I don't know." And so I went back to ask him, "Did you want a normal or a diet?" And my dad looked at me and said, "Hey, just go back and get him a Dr. Pepper." And I felt really embarrassed by that, but apparently it's rude to ask somebody if they wanted a diet or not.
Yeah, because that's implying that they're
fat. But I didn't mean anything like that. I just wanted to know what kind of drink you wanted.
See, I didn't even think about that when you asked that. I was like, that's a valid question. How old were you when you did this?
Probably like 4th grade, so...
Well, then that's fine, because you don't know any better.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever worked a concession stand.
You haven't?
I don't think so.
I had never done it until just recently, like a month ago.
It was like a softball game. It wasn't a big deal or anything.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I liked managing the money and whatnot.
Most of the time I was scooping popcorn, though. It got a little tiresome. My arms got tired of just constant.
Yeah.
So
McFlurry was making a sort of stab and pull motion.
Like a scoop.
I got that, but it looked more like he had a knife and he was going...
No, I was like making the motion of like holding the bag.
Oh, I got what it was. It looks like you're stabbing someone constantly.
That makes me think of how like sometimes they sell hot chocolate and it's always the really cheap packet kind,
and you can like taste the powder.
Which is like, I guess that's the cheapest thing, and it's not the most conventional thing to have like a machine, but like you're paying like $3 for it. You might.
It's all about convenience. You're paying for the convenience of having it.
Is there any traditional way that is as convenient as powder anyway? Because like I've had it out of like a Keurig.
Yeah, the Keurig, like you don't taste the powder in the Keurig.
Right, because it's
like made specifically to not taste like the powder.
Right, but like the only other way I've ever had hot chocolate was from the powder.
And but the thing is like Swiss Miss, I never taste the powder on those. But whatever type they use at the convention or concession stands, it always you can always taste the powder.
That's because they don't measure it out right. They're always in such a hurry to get it out. They just kind of scoop some in, pour some water, and give it to.
I always assumed it was because they just got low quality.
A few days ago, I made it with milk.
Water. That's the best way to do it.
I prefer it with milk.
But don't ever do that in a Keurig because that'll break it. I learned the hard way.
That's pretty funny actually. And I wasn't impressed, honestly.
You didn't? Really?
Well, it is a machine, but I want to know how McDonald's makes it because their hot chocolate is very good. And Einstein's.
I haven't had theirs either, but their coffee is pretty good, and their McFlurries are pretty good too.
I can confirm that I do taste pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, Halloween, that's happening pretty soon. It's Wednesday, I think?
Yeah.
Does anyone else feel like November 1st should be a holiday? A day, off of work and school and everything?
No.
Yeah, because it's 5 days before my birthday. It's close enough to celebrating it.
I mean, there's another reason. 2 reasons. 1, everyone's tired. 2, birthday.
Yep.
Give me a reason why it shouldn't be, Nicholas, if you're so opposed to this.
Oh
yeah, he has to really ram his brain.
Well, it's just like there's no reason
make a
to
holiday after a holiday.
There's no
because everybody's tired of holidaying.
But the thing is that it's Dia de los Muertos, so
the Day of the Dead is November 1st.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, but that.
What just happened?
Sorry, you got an email from Epic Games.
Oh dear. Yeah, my sister.
Nice.
I don't. My sister.
she uses your email.
Nice.
I don't know. Well, I made my account on my email, but then she's the only one that plays it now. But anyways, y'all, Fortnite is... Oh, the email went away, so never mind. I thought it was something about Spooky October, though. So y'all better get on those Spooky October Fortnite deals.
Nice.
Hit them.
Get your Skull Trooper while it's not rare anymore.
I think there's no reason for it to be a holiday other than the kids are up trick-or-treating until...
So you want all the kids to go to school tired?
O'clock. But it's... Who actually...
Yeah, because it's their fault for staying out late.
But it's the holiday. It's
also
society's
illegal.
fault.
It's also illegal. Yeah, they have curfews.
Well, not if they have an adult with them.
Yeah, if they have a legal adult with them, then I'm pretty sure that doesn't apply.
That's all right. So you think just because
kids are going to be tired and less efficient at work?
In my neighborhood, though, I'm pretty sure only 2 people within a 4-block radius actually give out candy. So
yeah. Well, I used whenever I started actually giving out candy to the kids instead of going to houses, that made Halloween so much better for me. I used to hate going from house to house, but my sister always made me because it made sense for little kid to go like, oh, okay, so she ended up getting too old for it, but I was still pretty young because there was a 4-year difference. So she thought, okay, well, if it looks like I'm just going with my brother, then I can still go trick-or-treating. But now the time came when I was too old, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I just sat outside of my house with a big bowl of candy and just gave kids candy, and it was so much fun. Like, I loved that so much. That was like the most fun I had on a Halloween in a long time.
That reminds me, I watched, this kind of actually goes back to the thing we talked about last time, but I watched Arthur yesterday.
Oh, Arthur? The show about the what is
Aardvark?
Aardvark?
Yeah, Arthur the Aardvark, yeah.
Is that like an anteater?
Yeah,
similar.
So wait, why doesn't he have that little nose?
In the original thing, like in the books, like the original books, he had it, but I think for like the card, like for when PBS got it, when PBS got a hold of it, they didn't want to like have that on there or whatever. So
look too phallic. I got
but it was a Halloween special.
Halloween,
whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. I mean, like, it's not a it was. The thing is, normally those episodes are like 15 minutes each because, you gotta keep them actively, like the kids, they have short attention.
They can't comprehend a complicated plot.
But this one was an hour long, and I watched like 57 minutes of it, and there were no commercial breaks. Wonderful thing. Like, that's the good part about...
You spent a whole hour watching Arthur.
That is
But it was a good episode, man. Like, there were like... it was legitimately like a real movie.
Do you watch Super Y too?
I used to, but I haven't in a while. Because I grew up on that. We didn't have cable for a really long time, so I watched PBS Kids.
Nostalgia.
But there were like 3 different storylines going on, like a real movie and stuff.
Wasn't there like a 9/11 episode?
Oh, what?
I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm just gonna end it. I think there was a 9/11 episode.
I don't think so.
Anyways, continue your thing.
I don't remember such a thing.
I'm gonna look it up.
But in English, we've been talking about Edgar Allan Poe.
And they made Edgar Allan Poe.
They made references to him, and I understood the references, and I was proud of myself. Hey, check to see if we have questions.
Oh yeah, earlier.
If you don't have us on Instagram, we have a
well, actually, I posted
an
it
off-brand podcast. One, it's just is it just off-brand podcast?
Pretty sure it is.
So somebody asked Cade, how do you plan on dodging the draft? Hey, open it back.
So I have several plans.
That's a wonderful question.
I'm gonna try doing it the legal way and applying as what's the word? What's it called? What is the word? Like where like religious reasons prevent you from like moral just it's. Thomas, cut this out because like I don't want like the audio of me trying to figure this word out. Conscientious. Say the word for me. Conscientious observer.
Oh my god.
Observer.
Yes, I would apply to be a conscientious observer. My God. Because I mean, at least I get out of battle. Like, I wouldn't mind if they drafted me and made me a chef or a janitor or something. I wouldn't even care if I died as a chef or a janitor.
A janitor? You gonna go mop up the blood?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would not mind doing that. But, like, I would not be able to kill anybody. I really don't think I would be able to bring myself to kill somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know why I laughed at that, because I'm recording this, and I'm going to put this on your...
On my story?
Should I put it on the...
I don't care. Oh, on the off-brand story?
Yeah,
because we're not...
Why not?
Okay, well, the podcast has to keep going because...
Yeah.
Okay.
I deleted it anyway. I was trying to record you trying to figure out the word, but I didn't. If we can ever figure out how to do like the clips of it, so we can put those on Instagram. Yeah. We should include that one and just do that.
No, we need to completely edit that away because I hate that so much.
No, Thomas, keep that.
Thomas, please get rid of that. No, he'll listen to me.
He's
Thomas,
gonna keep
Thomas,
it.
I got you. You got me.
To be honest, I wasn't really. You would be okay to like as an extra.
An extra.
that was
a movie.
That wasn't a very good term to use, but like you're just that's kind of undermining them too. So I not an extra, but like a.
No, that kind of. That's fair. Like, I'm off on the side while they're battling. I'm fine.
For some reason,
I want that.
When I think of those things, I always think of people in, like, aircraft hangars. Like, that's whenever I think of, like, I was a chef in the Army. I'm thinking, like, they were in like, a... I just said the word. What's the word?
Aircraft hangar?
A hangar, yeah. I just imagine them in a hangar, and they're like, come get your grub. Yeah.
If I was a chef, I'd intentionally add that voice. Come on, boys, get your grub.
You only say that when you were serving food.
Yeah, afterwards I'd be like, hey, guys. Hey, how was the grub?
I always imagine, like, the places they'd go to get food or, like, also, like, the medical tents. Just
like, I could be a doctor,
being
too.
Tents, like, in the very back of a battlefield. Like, whenever I imagine... like a World War II battle or whatever, I just imagine people running up on the shore trying to, take the mainland, and all of these medical and food tents just being, like, right there on the shore, right where the sand stops.
But I mean, that would put you on the line of fire, man. Like, you could, if you
Why would they shoot the chef? Explain that to me. Why would they shoot the chef?
Well, to cut off the food supply from the rest of them, make them all weak.
Okay, well... I don't think they'd think that hard.
But what I'm saying
is, that's why they would kill the medics too.
If they knew there were enemies coming on shore and they were like ready to fire, and all of a sudden these chefs start putting up tents and they're like, hey, come get your grub, come on, guys, you guys are gonna get your.
Obviously, they wouldn't set up tents like that if they're just first invading the shore. Like, they'd actually wait until they'd taken some land or driven the people back some, so that they would know that, like, they can put up tents without getting a grenade thrown directly in the front door.
Well, I don't know.
Why are you standing?
I don't know. I got uncomfortable. So I think I'd like to avoid the war altogether.
Oh yeah, that was the question. Is how.
And honestly, I don't think there will be a draft. But I mean, maybe I'd go to Canada. I don't want to say anything that might get me in prison
because the U.S. government's gonna listen to this podcast.
Oh, I mean, you never know. Hey, FBI agents, how you doing? Don't put me in prison, please. I'll go fight.
Have you guys ever watched Limitless?
Nope.
Limitless?
No, it has Bradley Cooper is a
what a guy,
returning guest thing in there. Anyway, you talking about the FBI, it reminded me of that show, and it was on Netflix like a month ago. So if it's still on there, go watch that. It's a pretty good show.
Have y'all seen Band of Brothers? No.
Was that a yes or a no? I don't
know. It's turning into show recommendations. The podcast.
I haven't seen much of the show. I just saw the beginning of it because my dad started watching it, and it's like a bunch of paratroopers training and whatnot, or eventually they go into war. But it starts off with Chandler from Friends, and he's like the drill sergeant, and he's way too dorky for that position because he's like, I can't do his voice, but he's like trying way too hard to sound cool. He's got like a leather jacket, and he's like, we will never go into battle if you guys keep acting like this. And he like was really putting on a voice. It was really bad.
Sorry, just thinking of him as the character of Chandler being in Friends.
Yeah.
Doing that.
I mean, that's all that I could see him as. It doesn't work at all. And he gets removed from the show.
That's like
same with oh god, what's
Adam
his
Driver?
name?
Are you really thinking of that?
No.
Probably not.
I'm thinking of
Adam Driver.
David Schwimmer being on
that's not.
David Schwimmer.
No, it is David
Ross.
Schwimmer. Wait,
you're thinking
I messed up the character.
Sorry, I was thinking.
I think it's David Schwimmer.
I'll
look it up.
David Schwimmer played Ross.
I haven't watched much Friends.
Sorry,
in all
it's just
honesty.
seeing David Schwimmer on the new Will and Grace, because I watched a couple episodes of that. He's like this, like super like closed off, reserved, like guy who just goes around and critiques things on Twitter and just like writes these awful reviews about anything he can.
Right.
And he's just a very negative person, and it's just so weird to see him in that persona.
Well, talking about characters from Friends that really radically changed to another project. Have y'all played Fallout New Vegas?
No.
I just got it.
Really?
For $8 at a resale store.
Have you played it yet? Yeah,
not much. I've only gotten through the tutorial.
So the very beginning, you get shot in the head.
Yeah.
Benny is played by Chandler. That's like it actually is.
Really?
Chandler. Yes, it actually is Chandler. Yeah.
Dang.
So
I got shot in the head by Chandler Bing.
Yeah.
Another person that, like, it's hard to see him in other roles is I first saw Adam Driver as Kylo Ren. And so when you see him in, like, those, like, romantic comedies or he's in something like that, and he's, like, this, like, silly dude, I'm like, this is weird to watch. And then I was also going to say, you were talking about, we were talking about military. Did that one band director ever play Major Payne on a bus trip?
Oh,
that
not for
Major
me.
Payne?
He played The Dark Knight.
We watched it on the first bus trip of this year.
Yeah. He that apparently that's a thing, but I've never noticed it. We didn't get to see all of it.
He never did it for us last year. He played The Dark Knight. And,
really, dude, I would have loved that. I
remember watching
really
Major Payne on a bus ride last year. It wasn't the first one, but it was on somewhere midway through the football season. I do remember watching it last year because that was the first time I had seen it.
It might have happened. I just didn't pay attention.
So you don't know what it's about, or you do know what it's about?
Nothing at all.
It's kind of interesting.
I love Major Payne.
I don't remember much of it, but like there was this.
I remember almost every detail about it.
There's this guy who comes to this like boarding school. It's like a castle, basically.
Yeah, he had just come back from war in the Middle East and is like this literal killing machine because he just came out of the Marines. And he got a new assignment to this boarding school teaching JROTC.
So it'd be like if Full Metal Jacket didn't end with the guy shooting himself in the head.
Yeah, I guess. I've never seen that, actually.
But he's like yelling at these kids who are like, don't know. Well, they're one of those people that like, as they're like forced to be in there or something because they really don't want to be there. They're like being smart Alex,
I gotcha.
And he's
just
like,
getting a PE credit.
Sure. But they're like getting yelled at, which reminds me of makes me think of that Key and Peele. Is that the right term?
Key and Peele.
Key and Peele. The bit where he's the substitute teacher.
Oh, and he's like,
I watched that again recently. Well, it was
like he was saying the white
Aaron.
names like that, like Aaron.
And then they were like, "Do you mean Aaron?" And they're like, he's like, "Get out of my classroom."
Yeah.
Sounds like the art teacher at my middle school. Anyway.
He would mess up the names?
No, she wouldn't mess up the names. She just send you
to the
either
office.
to the office or to go sit in the corner for the dumbest reasons. Like one time she liked the class to be completely silent. And so one time somebody just in the middle of class just very quietly goes, "Dude." and she goes, "Who did that? Was that you?" And pointed at him. And he's like, Yeah. And she goes, "Go sit in the corner. If you do it again, you're going to the office."
Dude, I said dude.
I would have gone.
Do you? Well, I guess none of you guys went to my elementary school, but one time in 3rd grade, this one guy started singing "Never Say Never" by Justin Bieber and Jaden Smith, and so I started singing it too. And for some reason, he knew exactly when to stop, but I kept going.
Oh no!
And the teacher was like, "Hey, who's singing right now?" And I was like, "Oh, it was me." And she was like, "Go pull a star." And I thought,
you had to pull a star,
and
Nicholas.
Well,
I never had to do that.
Like,
so there were pause at my school.
I'm a good noodle.
I'm a good noodle.
Well, like, and I looked at him and I was like, "Wait, this is for real happening?" And she was like, "Go pull a star." And I was like. And I went into the room. I think my homeroom teacher was like, "What are you getting in trouble for?" And I was probably just like, "I was singing in class. I don't know." But I was probably upset because I got in trouble. But like he didn't, and I was disappointed in that. But like, I remember also in third grade, she was asking for those words that like are the same forward and backwards.
Oh, palindromes.
Yeah. And she had moved on, and like 30 seconds later, I was still coming out with them. And
so, like, she was like, "Oh, by the way, kids, 2 times 2 is 4. Oh, race car.
Well, like, I was trying to think of the word, and it was ma'am. I was trying to think of ma'am, but I was like, Mrs. No. It's. And I started like come up with these things, and she was like, "Well, these types of words or whatever," and I was like, "Ma'am," and then she was like, "Nicholas, you interrupting my class?" And she was standing right in front of that chart that had the things, and so I just like stood up and I like went to go pull it, and she was like, "You don't have to pull it this time, but don't interrupt my class or something." And I was like, "I was just trying to help, man."
One time I was like very, very sick. Like I was like, actually this is a very interesting story, and it's kind of never mind. I'm not gonna get into this, but you know I've been thinking about this for a minute. You know, do y'all watch The Walking Dead?
Nope.
No. Well, never mind then. Can't talk about anything.
When I was in 5th grade, we, at the end of recess, which is the very end of the day, we all had to line up in front of our teacher, and they would walk us back inside.
That's stupid.
Well, it was to make sure that, because our playground was open completely. Mm-hmm. Like, you could easily just run across the street and go home.
Oh, you know what? When I was coming into town, I saw that school. We were all talking about it.
Yeah, I used to live next to that. But they recently put a fence around the field, so I guess that helps a little bit. But
then
anyway,
never mind. I guess I didn't see that school.
When I was there, it was completely open. And so they had to line us up by teacher. The teacher had to make sure everyone was there, and then we'd all go inside, all lined really up, dumb. And then we'd get our stuff and go home. And as I was walking down the sidewalk towards my teacher, I kicked a rock on the sidewalk, and it rolled and tapped another teacher's foot, and she was wearing flip-flops. And she goes, "Did you just kick that rock at me? That's so disrespectful." And she got so mad at me and started yelling at me, and I was like, "I just kicked a rock."
Okay, what else? Whenever I was... Did you guys have to, like, run laps if y'all were bad in elementary school?
No, we either had to sit out from recess or they would write in our folder.
Mm-hmm. See, what would happen for us
get in trouble, and our parents would have to sign it to acknowledge that we were bad children.
That would happen to us, but we would never sit out. They'd make us go out to like this tennis or basketball court, and we'd have to run around it over and over.
Yeah, they didn't make us any do physical activity. We were
it was
lazy children.
Yeah.
You saying the kicking the rock made me think of at a recent band competition. You know how we're about to go down that ramp, but we're waiting to go down there?
Oh,
yes.
Somebody moved forward, and there was a different instrument in the way. And, like, they ran into that instrument, so it stopped. But there were cymbals on the marimba.
Uh-huh.
And one of our directors was standing right there, and it stabbed the director.
Oh, yes.
Right in the stomach.
Oh, no.
Right in the stomach, and he goes, "Oh!" but then he walks away and doesn't acknowledge it at all. It was really funny.
Wait, was it the brick wall?
No.
Okay.
No, it was
the other one. I got
you. But it was really funny because I feel like he's done that before. Like he feels pain, and then he feels major pain, and then because it's the same one, he feels pain, and then he grunts and stuff, but then he doesn't tell anybody. He's not like, "Yo, you hit me." He was just like,
he doesn't tell you to like watch out or anything. He's just and then walks off.
He's one of those people like he's mad. He's mad that other people don't understand what he's thinking. You know?
Okay, so it's like. It's like a essential Oblivion character. Like, if you accidentally hit them, they'll go, "Urgh," but they won't exactly attack you immediately if they're, like, important to a quest.
Yeah, exactly like Oblivion.
Yeah.
And that also made me think of...
because he is very important to our quest.
Well, this isn't really that important of a story, but, like, one time in elementary school, I missed a day or something, and so during PE, I did... finish the paper, and
papers in PE.
No. It was an English thing, but like while the rest of the class went to PE, or the rest of the grade, whatever, I went to PE. I stayed in there, in the classroom, and I finished it. But I finished it, and the teacher was out of the room, and she'd been in the room for I felt like 10 minutes, and so I was like, I can either just sit here or I can go to PE, which I'd rather do. So I put the paper on her desk and went to PE. And after school that day, I was walking outside by that teacher, and she sees me and she's like, "Hey, you left my classroom without permission." And I was like, "Well, you had been gone out of the room for like a long time, and I wanted to go to. I mean, what did I do wrong?" And she was like, "You should have waited for me to let you go." And I was like, "Had I stayed, you probably would have been like, yo, you should have gone to class. You're wasting your time in here. Just go to class. You were finished a long time ago." So I felt like I was gonna lose either way. Yeah. But
I had a PE coach that was a lot like that, and I had him every year as a teacher in middle school.
Wait, but for elementary, was like, why are they having
no
double up?
In middle school, I had him every year, but for a different class. So in sixth grade, in sixth grade, it was a typing class that he just happened to be teaching. Yeah, we had a class. It was just called keyboarding.
Keyboarding.
Not
you
typing.
Took a keyboarding class.
Not typing.
Man, you're
keyboarding.
A very highly educated man.
It was required. Anyway, and then in seventh grade, I took a class called Technology Applications, And that was a 1 semester thing, and then second semester you'd go to exploring careers.
Oh.
And I had him as my teacher for careers as well. And then in 8th grade I had him in PE. And I think I was his favorite.
Aww.
But he had such a weird way of showing that. Like, he'd mess with me all the time, and he'd like make jokes with me all the time. And he loved to embarrass me in front of the class.
See, I feel
it was
like
humiliating.
Yeah.
But he would still like make jokes and like be friendly outside of class. So
I always felt like our 8th grade U.S. history teacher. I always felt like he liked me, but I couldn't tell. Like I would always engage in like a conversation. Like I would start class and ask him a really vague question, like a political question, and he would go on and on, like 20 minutes, and he'd like, even if he was like at a loss, like I think that's about it, and then he'd stand there for about 30 seconds, and he'd be like, also, the Democrat Party, he wanted to waste time.
I had him first period. Didn't you have him 8?
I had him, at the end of the day.
I had him first period, and for like the first 6 weeks, he would spend, no joke, I think I timed it at one point, 20 minutes on roll, because like he would start a thing and then he would start talking, and he was at his desk the whole time, and then you'd be like, all right, I'm in the middle of the bro, and he'd be like, where did I stop? Oh, Jim Bobby. Jim Bobby. Oh, by the way, back in college, I had somebody named Bobby Jim, and he was
amazing. He was like one of my favorite teachers. He's so good. I was a 6th grade teacher. I want to go visit.
You were his 6th grade teacher? Is that what you said?
He is a 6th grade teacher.
Oh yeah, now he is. Yeah.
But I want to go see him. But like, I don't know how to get back into the middle school. I guess I could just squat.
Well, during one of like the theater thing. Oh no, I guess.
He wouldn't be there. Well, he says he always goes to the plays and the football games. So maybe if we go.
He goes to the football games. Who goes to middle school football games?
Me, because I wouldn't. Concessions at one.
Concession.
Well, and the coaches and the football players and the referees and the cheerleaders and.
Do middle schoolers go to the football games? Because they didn't at my school.
I remember
they went to anything that was in the school. Like if it was on our field, they'd go, or if it was like in our basketball court. But anything that was away at some other school, they wouldn't go.
I remember there was this one cheerleading team that they were for a pirate themed school, and instead of like doing chants or anything, they pulled out like this huge amp and started playing the Pirates of the Caribbean theme, and we all looked at them like that's so dumb. And it is like it's such a dumb idea. And
that sounds like something they would do.
Yeah, I hate that school.
Did you say the school?
No, I didn't. I just said the pirate-themed school. Because I don't want to call names. I don't want to dox any schools.
Do you...
Did you ever see that?
No. Okay, he showed me a picture of that teacher we were talking about, and he looks like is his name Dilbert?
Dilbert, yeah.
Dilbert, yeah.
Dilbert.
It's spot on. Yeah. Oh my god, we should post that picture with the podcast.
Okay. Yeah.
Just make that the thumbnail.
Yeah. Oh my god, that would be great.
Do you go to your high school football games ever?
Not now.
It seems like the refs at our team or at our games are always like against us for like 90% of the thing. Either that or we hold a whole lot, which is probably a pretty likely thing.
Yeah, I've never understood. Like I've played football before, and I've never held onto somebody's face mask. I don't know how.
No, not face mask. Like holding onto their.
I've never done that either. I don't know how that just happens.
I did that when I played soccer when I was like 8. I thought it'd make.
How does that happen in soccer? You're not even.
I thought
sometimes you're like going for them and you like grab their jersey and you like pull them back and you're like, oh, that's someone saw that probably. I'm gonna get in trouble for that.
See, the thing is, when I was that young, I thought that I could run faster if I grabbed his jersey and pulled him back.
Oh no!
So I did that, and he just kind of looked at me while we were running, and the referee had to come and pull me off of him.
Oh my gosh. Dude, okay, you want to hear my worst referee experience? It made me so mad. I was about 4, and I was playing t-ball, and I was taking this I thought I was going to be the next Babe Ruth, right?
What a plebeian. I played machine pitch.
Not when you're 4.
When I was 9.
Yeah, well, that's quite a difference, 5 years. Anyways, so I had the bat, and I was so excited. I swung for my first swing, and so I hit it, and I'm like, oh, cool. So I throw it behind me, like so it would be all one continuous motion. And the referee's like, hey, hold it, you can't do that. And I'm like, okay. So she puts the ball back on there, and I hit it, and I tried putting it down lighter, but I wanted to make it one motion so that I could go ahead and get out of there and run to the first base. Because by the time I hit it, there was already a kid with the ball in their hand, and she said, "Oh no, hey, you put that down too hard this time. You have to do it lighter."
Yeah,
I'm like,
because apparently in Little League, there's that little box around the home plate. They have just that little white box made out of chalk around the home plate. Apparently in Little League, if you drop the bat outside of that, that's counted as a foul, and they make you
that's
redo
so
it.
dumb. Yeah, and she said, "All right, do it one more time, boy, and I'm gonna make you just get out of the outfield. We're gonna count this as an out." And I'm like, well, now thinking back about it, it's really hard to get outs in T-ball. I don't think. Wait, how does that even work? Well, I guess when you're going around the bases, T-ball is just a screwed up game in general. It's just.
Wait, is there any way to get an out in normal baseball that you couldn't get in T-ball? Obviously,
striking out. You can't strike out in T-ball.
Okay, yeah, I hadn't thought of that. I'm not intelligent.
I don't know.
Wait, so you could swing and miss, and that would count as a strike?
No, you can't. That's the whole thing about T-ball.
Well, I mean, you can miss. That it is possible, but do they count it as a strike?
He just got up and went over there for some reason.
Yeah, he's across the room right now.
Yeah. But were you gonna say something?
I was just gonna say striking out.
You had My Sim agents. Oh, and you had Club Penguin agents. Oh my god.
Dude, I had Club Penguin agents too.
That was such a great
before we
game.
do that,
Elite
I want
Penguin
to ask a question though. Can you get unsportsmanlike conduct in baseball and the refs or the umpires take off points or something? How does one? Because in football you can be you're going back 15, 10, 5 yards.
I think they just give you an out.
Yeah, or if it's on the, I don't know what you call it, the pitching team, I guess, the team that's pitching.
The defensive team.
Yeah, if it's on the defensive team, then they just give the offensive team a walk. They just let them.
Yeah, that
if
makes
you
sense.
get them enough of them, or they're.
Okay. Anyways,
They don't take points or punish you. They just give the other team
an advantage.
Yeah. Okay, I really want to talk about this. So you had Club Penguin Elite Agent Force.
You want to hear the story with that one?
Whatever.
It was at Kmart. I got this game. I got Club Penguin Elite Force at Kmart. I was going there for My Sims agents, but they didn't have it. So the guy was like, "The closest thing we have to that is this," and I really I honestly played this game 3 times maybe.
What? Only 3? I played it all the way through.
Yeah, dude, I played it all the way through a lot. I even played through it last year because I was bored. I was hey.
Well, you know what was cool about it was it was an entire you remember in normal Club Penguin you could do the agency missions?
Yeah.
It was pretty much just a really long version of that.
It really was. It was just a bunch of those put into one game. They released a sequel.
They did?
Yeah, whenever the Elite Penguin Force got shut down in the world of Club Penguin, they replaced it with something else, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
Oh, it was a bigger agency.
They made another game out of that as well.
This makes me really miss Club Penguin.
It was an SPF. Oh, wait, no, that is what the SPF is.
Wait, they do have a...
Oh, well... Oh.
Hold on.
They do have a new version of Club Penguin, don't they?
Oh,
that shut down as well. Actually, just recently.
Really?
There were not enough people interested in it.
That's a tragedy.
Yeah, that is tragedy.
It's a tragedy that it existed in the first place.
No, it was a fun game.
No, he's talking about the new game.
Oh,
the new one.
I was why are you dissing the original?
Yeah, no, Club
Penguin
is
Island.
the game of a century. But anyways, it says Wi-Fi connection. You can use the Wi-Fi connection in this game.
Yes.
But you couldn't play with other people.
I think you could connect to your actual Club Penguin thing, and I think I tried to do that. I think so.
You'd get items in the game. They didn't actually help you a whole lot, but
I gotcha.
Herbert's Revenge was the other one.
God,
I already don't like the name.
Herbert. You don't like Herbert?
Herbert P. Bear?
Do you not know Herbert?
Why is there a bear? Wait, no.
He's a polar bear.
Polar bear. Yeah, polar bears eat penguins.
No, they don't. They don't even live on
Yes, they do.
The polar bears live in the Arctic. The penguins live in the Antarctic.
Well,
they don't live. They live on literal opposite sides of the planet.
I'm
from
pretty
each other.
sure they eat each other.
No,
they eat each other.
Yeah.
No.
Well, are you telling me that if a penguin came by a dead polar bear, they wouldn't eat it?
Correct.
They probably wouldn't.
Well, what do they eat? Fish? They eat meat. They can
fish.
eat it.
Yes.
Their instinct tells them to eat fish, lay egg, keep egg warm, eat more fish.
Okay, dead giant hunk of meat may as well eat.
No.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good.
They don't.
Well, I guess it's kind of the same ending.
No, they don't recognize
opening
that
and
as
closing
food.
that's going to be very loud in the microphone.
They don't recognize a dead polar bear as food because, one, they don't live on the same side of the planet.
Well, okay, fine.
If
they saw a giant dead, I don't know, white albino elk, I don't know. They would go eat it because they're hungry.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
All right, this is...
Okay, if they saw a giant whale, would they eat that?
No.
Okay.
Because they only eat fish.
Oh, the whale is a fish.
They don't recognize that as food.
Why not?
Because that's not what they eat.
It's meat.
Okay.
What if they see a pelican eating it?
Dude, let's talk about Sims now.
No. Pelicans eat fish, but they also eat like a Twinkie if you give it to them. Would a penguin eat a Twinkie?
No.
Yes, then why would the pelican eat a Twinkie?
Because they're not the same bird.
But that's...
Alright, what were you going to say?
How many penguins have you seen? How many penguins have you fed?
I could ask you the same thing.
Well,
we would still get nowhere. Anyway, I was trying to explain why Herbert P. Bear exists in the same place as penguins because they don't live in the same place naturally.
Okay, fine.
It's because Herbert, living in the North Pole, got tired of living in such a cold environment, so he got on an iceberg and tried to drift off to the ocean to find somewhere warmer, and he finally found an island and was like, whoa, that's an island, it's probably warm. And then he got there and realized that it's literally the other side of the world, and he just went to Antarctica and just terrorizes penguins for fun.
How did he not hit any of the continents in between?
There's a straight line, man.
The odds of hitting that... There's an entire world!
There is a massive gap.
There is literally the Pacific Ocean that
and
takes
the Atlantic.
But the odds... But okay, think about that. That's only like...
Why are we digging so deep into Club Penguin
lore?
lore?
There's still just chances that he would have come by like the Sandwich Islands or something like that.
There are chances.
Yes.
But it didn't happen because it's a
kid's
game.
This is a fictional land.
It doesn't matter. It could have happened.
Penguins do not exist. Now.
I mean, how many penguins have you seen? I'm not going to question it. Is that why they can't eat polar bears?
Yeah, that's why they don't eat polar bears. Because they don't exist. Actually, I saw a meme about that.
A meme?
A meme.
Oh, was it like Truth or Dare with the government? And it's like, government picks truth, and it's like, are birds real? And then it just shows the guy with the sweaty face saying...
No, it's this. It's just... it's for you viewers at home. It says... It's like a tweet. Is that a tweet?
That is a tweet.
It's a tweet that says, I have a new favorite conspiracy theory, and there's a picture of a paper that is posted on like a telephone pole thing, and it says, birds aren't real. Wake up, California. And then it has a picture of a bird, and it has the equal sign. Government surveillance drone. Nice.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. It just occurred to me that...
Oh, no.
This is not good.
Oh,
okay. Is it better
should we
to
save? No, we're good. Okay, we thought my computer was about to die. It did not. We probably can't record a second episode, though.
You don't have your charger?
No, not on me.
Hey, do you know that Club Penguin still kind of exists?
No, hey, yeah. Wait, what do you mean?
Club Penguin rewritten, cprewritten.net.
Like,
it's literally Club Penguin, but it's hosted by other people.
So it's like Toontown rewritten? And,
they got
Pirates
access
of the Caribbean rewritten.
Yeah, they got access to all the game files, and they literally.
Can you say naughty words in the rewritten game?
Probably not.
Oh, that's lame.
I got banned within the first 20 minutes of Club Penguin Island existing.
I just
got banned because I didn't know how to spell.
You said we talked about Bob Ross for a long time in the long lost episode. Yet we've spent a long time talking about quote unquote Nintendo. In fact, that was the first thing one of the first things.
We started talking about Bob Ross and
I mean like in this episode.
No, we started with Nintendo and then deleted it because we were ranting. Yeah. And now we're ranting.
Yeah, we're ranting about Club Penguin now. So let's change the subject. Actually, no, did y'all ever see Rockhopper or like any of the like character? Like I never saw the NPCs in the game.
The pirate captain?
Yeah, I never saw any of the NPCs. They also had like Disney characters like the redhead from the dancing show.
No.
What,
you talking about Cece from Shake It Up?
I believe that was the name.
Bella Thorne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's like completely lost her mind now?
Wait, what are we... All I heard was
She shows up on Club Penguin. I think that was like a whole thing that like Disney would like have like huge deals where like, hey kids, go on down to Antarctic and see Cece. It's the actual actor, and she's gonna say stuff. But really, it's probably just like a 20-year-old guy saying, "Hey guys, I'm Cece."
I don't think I don't recall anything like that ever happening.
I swear it happened. Because there were schedules. There were apps that you could download and say, "Hey, CC's on now, guys. CC's on."
So it's like, oh, I'm gonna play Fortnite with Ninja. I said win.
And they just give you an alert whenever Ninja logs onto Fortnite, which is literally all the time.
Have you all seen that video where the guy, or I think it might be, I don't know who the people are, but he adds this kid and he starts crying because he's like, I'm playing Fortnite with Ninja, and then
there have been a few videos like that from a few different Fortnite YouTubers. They use it to get views.
Of course.
Did you guys see Ellen playing Fortnite with Ninja?
I've seen memes about it where they put in that clip of Ninja like, screaming at a kid to shut up when he's talking to him. I hope you
die.
Yeah.
Well, Ellen's like, nice Ninja.
Yeah.
Like, I stopped, I mean...
I have not seen the actual recording of it.
Not to discredit Ellen, because I watch a lot of her videos. She's not going to care. She's not listening to this. But, like, I stopped listening, like, halfway through. She was like, wait, so why are we killing these people? And it was like... It kind of caught him off guard because there really was no reason to, and he was just like, "This is just a game, you know? It's
just a game. Just, you know, that's how kids in the 21st century have fun. We murder,
like zombies and each other."
Yeah.
Didn't Ellen say something like, "I feel like a millennial now" or something along those lines?
God. I believe she would say that.
That sounds like an Ellen thing to say. Whoa! Oh my God! I just realized the Club Penguin, they had like massive like cheese blocks as feet.
That's why when I wear my Crocs, oh yes, I have Crocs. It makes me think of because they're in the same shape. They're in the Club Penguin shape of feet.
No, that's the thing. The Club Penguin, the penguin's feet on that are constant in everything except this box art. They're rectangles.
Are they?
Where everything else, I'm pretty sure they're rounded.
Yeah.
You might be right. You know what was really cool in Club Penguin?
What?
The dojo. That was like the first card
Dude, with Card
played.
Jitsu, I remember like checking
awesome.
every day to see if they had updated it because they added all the elemental stuff and like basically adding new versions of Card Jitsu.
It was really cool.
And I got a black belt in the original version and was just sitting there like going to the dojo every day like, when are they going to release the water Jitsu or whatever?
Nicholas, can I buy this from you?
There's not the game in there.
Well, where is it?
I don't know.
Well, here, go find it and I'll buy it from you. I don't have any cash on me. But...
You told me not to click that. Do you remember in geometry last year when we made
we made the Club
D&D?
Penguin. Yes. Oh my gosh. We need to round up a bunch of people, or you need to round up a bunch of people that we can do that with, and we can do it over like a Discord call. I thought that was a really good idea though. Although we need to cut out some of the name drops.
Well, it was I don't know if you can hear me. It was a crossover between Club Penguin and like. Something else, wasn't
kind of like Westworld, honestly, because like.
Well, no, I like because I was the DM or the GM, and
move over, so I can hear you.
I
mean, I'm pretty sure it could hear you, but I wasn't sure.
I brought in a different game. It's not one of these.
Well, let me see.
I was looking through them.
Dude, he had Uno and Skippo.
Was it Webkins?
Kung Fu Panda?
Did I bring in Webkins or was it like?
I don't remember Webkins. I remember. Pop Tropica,
the Hasbro collection.
No, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Pop Tropica was a pretty cool game, honestly. There were a lot of like.
There we go.
Oh, all right. How much do you want for it?
Yeah,
the High School Musical game.
I'll pay you $10 cash for it right now. Even though I already own the game.
Part of
you just want me to
I'm gonna save it for eBay where later on when it's worth even more.
It probably is worth a lot right now because that's like a 10-year-old game at this point.
No, it's probably
it's an old game.
I'll charge you
a wink and a smile.
No, I'll charge you all rights to this. To the business we're gonna make in the future.
The business?
Mm-hmm. I want all of them.
The off-brand corporation?
Any business that you start, I want all of the money to because that thing is worth a lot. Just kidding. Just give me $1.
$1?
Yeah.
I don't have $1 on me.
Why did you offer to pay stuff? Okay.
Well, you know what? Whenever
2008, so it is 10 years. Yeah.
November 25th.
That was about the same time that Red Dead Redemption came out.
We are coming up on the time of Club Penguin, Elite Penguin Force for the DS to be 10 years old.
Oh, he also had the Enchanted video game.
Mark your calendars for November 25th if it hasn't already passed by the time this is uploaded, and celebrate with us as we celebrate the 10-year anniversary of Club Penguin Elite Penguin Force.
I had My Sims Kingdom too.
Oh, My Sims
and Cooking
Kingdom?
Mama.
Oh my gosh.
Cooking Mama.
Dude, I had
Cooking
Cooking Mama
Mama
on the Wii, and I remember the only thing I remember about that game was that my dad was awful at cracking eggs in that game.
I remember
He would always
being
just destroy
disappointed when Mama was disappointed. I got disappointed too. I was like, really?
I remember one time doing so good in that game that it told me I was better than Mama.
Oh,
and,
no, not Mama.
And then it was like the whole screen was like golden. It was like Mama up in the corner like cheering with these like golden like glitter eyes or whatever. And I tried so hard to get to that again. I even did the same recipe over and over trying to get that again because it made me feel so happy as a child. And I never got it again. I still have, to this day, have never gotten that again. I don't even know if I still have the game.
Yeah, I was about to say, how often do you play?
I don't play it anymore. I haven't played it since I played it regularly when I was like 10.
A lot of GameCube games and PlayStation 2 games, but I don't know where any of them went, or even where those consoles are now. I miss them a lot.
I still have almost every video game I've ever owned for any console, just like in a cabinet in our living room.
Nice.
And it's just full of mainly Wii games, but there's a lot of GameCube ones.
Do either of you have a Switch?
I do.
I don't.
Should I get a Switch?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
mean, like,
thanks for this little mini commercial.
Well, like,
or in the end of our
I'm saving up for like 3 different things. I'm saving up for a Switch, an Apple
Watch.
Yeah, I was trying to think is that the right term?
Yeah, it's
Apple Watch, and then like a MacBook. So like either way, I'm gonna be put back $300.
Just get a 2-in-1 laptop. That's what I want to get. I really want to get a 2-in-1 laptop.
But I like OS.
Just get like a Service Pro.
Can you can just get that though, can't you?
What?
Can't you just download that on a PC?
What? Download what?
I don't know why you'd want to though, because like you can't download like emulators.
Because I know you can do the opposite. I know if you have a Mac of any kind, you can get Windows on.
Yeah, you can always download a OS onto except if it's like a Chromebook. Chromebooks.
Yeah, Chromebooks. Yeah, they're not as good.
Chromebooks exist only to open Google Chrome and browse the internet.
That's all it can do.
It's all for Google. It's everything. Well, I mean that's obviously, but
it's like not even powerful enough to do anything else. So like if you wanted, if you really wanted to download Windows onto it, you couldn't really do anything.
It's got to have some decent power to it because Google Chrome like breaks computers if you have more than 5 tabs open.
But it's also supposedly really good for from what I've seen, like the YouTubers that have it as sponsors, like the ones with the pens, it's like, whoa, you can edit all your videos with this one.
Wow. I set my Chromebook at school to have a wallpaper of a pencil. It was just like I looked up, I turned around and said, hey, I need to change my wallpaper. So just give me a random word. And he said pencil. And so I turned around, looked up pencil, added that as my wallpaper. I didn't realize it would change for every single class. So now anytime I open my Chromebook, people behind me look at me and they realize, oh, he has a pencil. And people don't know me. A lot of people don't know me at the school. So their first impression of me is, oh, he's the type of person that would have a pencil as his wallpaper. Okay.
My wallpaper on my Google, my school Google account, and it changes for every Chromebook, is Bliss, which is the Windows XP default.
That's awesome. Background. Have you seen that place recently?
Yeah,
it's like all
brown and
it's
dead.
Horrible. That's what our world's come to, guys.
Because one time I logged into a computer I haven't been on in a week. Because how some classrooms. What?
You remember? Or of course you guys remember.
Hey,
so I took her
out.
computer. I took her computer during journalism one time, and it was like a Windows computer. And I set, I set her wallpaper to this picture of Legolas embracing Gollum. And no, it was I think it was Gollum or Gandalf. I don't know what it was, but it was
I don't understand this.
And they weren't wearing shirts. It was it was obviously not it was a very strange photo. And anyways, but she she had Google Chrome open, and she didn't notice that the wallpaper had changed until okay, sorry, I'm telling this horribly, but she turned the computer off without closing Google Chrome, so she never noticed that her wallpaper had changed. Uh-huh. And whenever you go between different laptops, it doesn't change. If you change the wallpaper on one laptop, Windows laptop, and use your account, it doesn't change. The only way she'd see it again is if she opened the same laptop. So a couple of weeks later, I had forgotten about this, and just by chance, she opened the laptop, and she was greeted with the image of Gandalf embracing Legolas without shirts, and it was, I don't know, I forgot about it too, and it was just amazing.
Well, like, what I was gonna say, this is not as good of a story. I mean, like, I'm not.
You're not saying that my story's good?
I'm
Is that
not.
what you're trying to insinuate?
I'm not approving. What's the word? Like, I'm not gonna.
Advocating?
Sure. I'm not going to positively say anything about that story, but mine's not as in depth as that. It was just like that. I opened because it's one of those classrooms where like the teacher doesn't matter which Chromebook you get, or the teacher doesn't care. The teacher doesn't care. And so like one I haven't gotten in a really long time, and I just opened it up, and it had all of my tabs open from whenever I had it open like a few weeks ago. So I just don't know what the system is. Like sometimes
it's weird. I don't get it either. I don't like the Chromebooks very much, but it's all fine. It works. What else is there to talk about? So you have this GBA game here. Did you own a GBA, or did you just buy that because you knew you could play it through the DS?
I owned it.
I didn't buy it. So a long time ago, I wanted a Game Boy. The Game Boy is the flip one, right?
That's Game Boy Advance SP.
That's the one I wanted.
I want the blue edition. Have you all seen that video? No? Okay.
Anyway, so like, I kept asking my parents for one of those because like everyone had, or a lot of people had them, but somebody in my family had one of those. It's like it looks like it was a game console controller, but it had like a big screen on it. So
the Sega Dreamcast.
Maybe
like where it's the really big like tall controller and it has
like the weird like triangles on it.
Yeah, it has like the little gray screen on it.
What did you say it was called?
The Sega Dreamcast.
You're talking about like I wasn't paying attention to your story. You were saying like it has like a screen on it, because the Dreamcast had a screen on it. I thought that was really cool.
Or was it like an self-contained console? Like it was just a little handheld. Because that was the original Game Boy.
Nintendo hand.
And the Switch, I
guess.
Was
this Advance? Hold on.
Yeah, I really want to figure this out.
This one?
Yes.
That's what I have. Yeah, that's the original Game Boy Advance.
That's the one that I have as well.
I have like the transparent one. I love that thing so much.
Really? That's pretty cool. It's pretty neat.
But
they have a special Target version. It's just red and gray and has the Target logo on the top of the
Why would anybody want that? Oh, I finished this up.
Did you not bring a charger?
No, I did not. So it looks like we're gonna have to end pretty soon because my computer's dying. So it's been good. Sorry to end abruptly like this, but it's been Cade.
No. Wait, we still have time.
No, it doesn't last long. So please hurry. Just say your name.
I am Nicholas. Thanks for joining us.
I've been Cade, and over.
You have been Cade. Yeah.
And my name has been McFlurry.
And this has been the OBrien Podcast. We love you all so much. Subscribe if you want to. Follow us on Instagram. All the links are in the